Welcome, everybody. We are so excited that you're here. Tonight, we are going to be discussing the new reality of luxury salon team growth with Marc Mendez. There is a chat here, and while we're getting started, I'd love for you all to share where you are watching from, your name, what do you do? We'd love to get this chat going. As we do that, my name is Alyssa Pablo. I'm a brand manager here at Gloss Genius. And today we are not just discussing strategies for salon team growth, we're launching a full scale myth busting mission. So I hope you all are ready to challenge the common industry beliefs that may be holding your salon team back. We're going to reveal a new way to grow a modern luxury salon that prioritizes your clients, your client experiences, and empowers your teams for modern peak performance. So, with that said, I am very excited to formally introduce the one and only Marc Mendez, successful salon owner of 5 years, industry influencer who's partnered with brands like Redken, Salon Centric, an educator whose masterclasses are shaping the future of high-performing salons. He's breaking boundaries, building a modern salon team. He's booked through spring 2026. And has a
Thank
powerful
you.
personal brand with over 400,000 followers, all built on his own terms, and has been a Gloss Genius customer with us for 6 years. Hi, Marc. Welcome. We are so excited to have you.
Alyssa, thank you so much for that beautiful entry. I feel so honored.
Yes.
Well, obviously, thank you, Gloss Genius, for having me to begin. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. And today, we're just going to be focusing on things to elevate your salon. Our industry teaches us that there's one way to do something, but that's subjective. And it's important for us to remember that we can do things our own way. So we're gonna go over some non-traditional strategies to make your salon a high-performing salon of your dreams.
Amazing. I am so excited for what's ahead. But if this is your first time with us, I'd love to take a second to introduce Gloss Genius. We are the only spa and salon software built to help you grow more with less busy work. So tonight, we're going to talk about how Gloss Genius can be a technology partner in enabling these goals so you can focus on what matters. That's your clients, your salon experience, your personal brand, and running your team. Okay, Marc, you ready to get into some of these myths?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Okay. All right, everyone. So there are so many perspectives out there about how to run your business, and it's easy to fall into common traps as you scale. But that stops here. Marc is going to bust the top 9 myths holding your teams back. And for everyone tuning in, we will have a Q&A time at the end. So as questions come up, feel free to also save those for the end. All right, let's get into it. Starting with myth number 1, you have to double book to maximize your income. And again, we want you all involved in tonight's discussion. We're in this myth busting mission together. Would love for you all to drop a hands up emoji in the chat if you've ever felt pressure to double book. Let us know, how has that impacted your client experience or your own stress levels? Now, Marc, I want to hear from you. What is your reality here?
So when it comes to my reality, it's prioritizing deep client connection, which increases my ticket prices and ticket sizes. So to get more into that, I think that in our industry, we want to make sure that we're focusing on quantity over quality. And with me and my clientele, I just make sure that I'm giving them that white glove service that truly has led me to charging the prices that I do charge, not just in my salon for myself, but overall, every single stylist in my salon is also adapting to the way I do things, which is increasing their revenue and making them money as well.
I love that.
And
Go
oh
ahead.
no, I'm sorry. No, it's so, and I always like to make sure that I'm blocking content time, and using Gloss Genius, I'm actually able to put content time for my clients, which this is also another way that I make money as well too, another stream of revenue. So this way I can actually make content, post content, but by doing that, I'm also prioritizing my client and giving them the quality time. And my clients actually like when I'm devoting content time with them, it just makes them feel like they're my celebrity client.
I love that. It's so important for us to be focused on where we are at a given time. And thanks for that hot tip. I love the Gloss Genius calendar to add those custom time blocks for content creation or even just taking a reset, cleaning time, note taking, or breaks, anything that helps you manage your time and client experience. Okay,
Absolutely.
on to myth two. All right. You can't charge luxury prices outside a major city. Now, for everyone in the chat, how confident do you feel right now in charging premium prices? We'd love to know. And Marc, we want to hear from you.
Well, my reality is that premium experiences warrant premium prices. It really doesn't matter where you are. And I think this touches base to a lot of stylists that live in smaller cities. If anyone doesn't know, I live in Buffalo, New York, and it is honestly a smaller city. But what I'm charging is above what the cost of people are willing to pay here. But I really have done that just by building the relationship with my clients. I'm giving them quality time, and that really makes me, like I said previously, it helps me charge that premium price. But it's more than just quality time. You have to make sure that you're elevating your entire experience. So that comes with, in my salon, we love to give our clients drinks. So it's a thoughtful drink menu. My assistants and all the stylists are making sure that we're greeting the clients at the door, because it starts before they're even at the door. Before they're even walk in, you want to make sure that you're giving them that premium experience. And even though, yes, we are stylists with all females and I'm the only male, I make sure that the stylists are taking the client's coats as soon as they walk through the door. It's giving them that white glove service that makes them feel seen and makes them feel special. And we're prioritizing their time as much as they're prioritizing our time as well.
That is so important. Marc, I have a question for you actually. How did you
Absolutely.
communicate to your clients every time you may have increased your prices? Did you just put it on your booking site? Did you send an email out? How did you create that transparency with them or just feel really confident in setting your prices?
I mean, that's an amazing question. And I think that's a question that a lot of people do have. So I do things the way I think that big corporations do things, and they don't announce anything. And a lot of the times people may not agree. Like I said, our industry is subjective, but
Right.
I feel personally, I don't have to announce it every single time. But I'm also very clear from the very beginning. When you are booking me or booking any of the stylists in my salon, there's always a price point of what the service could be. So there's no ending surprises, and they are obviously opting into booking the service with us and knowing that the maximum price, for example, a balayage with myself right now could be from $500 to $1,000. Well, $1,000 is the max. So once they're booking, they're opting in that, okay, I agree that I'm okay with the max point. So I think that just having clarity and just making sure that when the client goes on your booking site, they can see that obviously the price total. You don't have to announce every single thing, because every company, if we think about it, Target doesn't announce
Right.
every single thing and these major corporations aren't. So why do we?
Yep, exactly. I love that. Confidence is key. I'm seeing that in the chat as well. And as you called out, your booking site is where you can transparently show off your prices. So with Gloss Genius booking sites, we have designer templates that really create that luxury digital experience so that your premium experience extends beyond your salon walls.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to also say that I love the fact that Gloss Genius, it allows me to basically pick the theme for my templates. So if you actually have ever seen what my salon looks like, you would see that my website is a replica of that. It's very neutral, it's very earthy tones. And that's something that I obviously love about Gloss Genius, that I'm actually able to customize my template to match my website to what my salon aesthetic actually is. And that all entails in the luxury experience.
Oh, yes. I checked out your booking site. It looks so good.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let's get on to myth number three. Client loyalty is solely based on technical skill. Now, for the audience, beyond a perfect cut or color or any service you provide, what is one small detail that makes a client feel truly seen in your salon? And I'd love to take a second to see if any come up. They love this question. Communication is huge. I
Yes, it
see
is.
people typing. This one's important. We want to make the audience feel seen too. Pets' names
Yes,
in their notes. That is so cute. Remembering the things that they shared. It's all in the details. Yes. Educating
absolutely.
clients. These are great. All right, Marc. What is your reality here?
So my reality is that being fantastic at your craft is half the battle. The other half is client relationships and building that relationship. And as someone said in the chat, I love using Gloss Genius notes to make sure that I'm writing down the last minute things or the last things that my client told me. So the next time they revisit me, I can remember when their wedding is. I can remember their vacation. And those are the things that make you different from every other service provider in the sense that you're showing your client that you care. They care about us, and there's a lot of things that go on in our life, and they keep up with us on social media. So it really is important for me and my salon to make sure that we're keeping up with our clients and writing in the notes those last things that they told us. So when they do come revisit, we're able to talk to them about, hey, how was that wedding? How was your trip? You know, how was your baby? How's your baby doing? And those are the things that I think they think that we don't remember because
Right.
we're so busy. So when we're actually able to remember those things, it makes them feel seen and validated, and it makes them want to come and spend their money with us, obviously, because we're showing them that we care.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes, not to get this deep, but sometimes it's really important that we may be the only ones that really listen. And this is their self care time, right? This is my me time. So it's so important that we have that deep connection with them.
I I 100% agree. And there's things like the features on Gloss Genius, I think that I love the most is that it tells the clients to put their birthdays and things specifically to them. So for example, when I have my clients' birthdays coming up, they come in and if it's on their birthday, I can decide, hey, I want to give them a gift when they walk in. I can give them a free service. And this is what keeps my clients coming. And obviously I've had retention for the amount of retention that I have throughout the years. I mean, it shows for itself. I have clients that have been with me for about 5 to 6 years since I started my career. And that's because I make sure that I'm caring about them as much as they care about me. And it is important that we show up for them. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. We're attentive, we're hospitable. And as you mentioned with Gloss Genius Notes, this is where you can log more than just formulas, but their family info, milestones, and more. And what I love about this feature is that Gloss Genius will actually remind you, they'll send you a text an hour before your appointment so you can prep and it'll feel even more natural from there. Okay, myth number 4. I'm excited for this one. Let's get into managing a team. So, managing a hybrid team, whether booth renters plus commission, leads to chaos and inconsistent branding. Now, this one's for the audience. Who here is managing a team? What may be a challenge you're experiencing right now? Let's see if anyone has anything to share. I see some typing.
Type away, everyone. Type away. Give us all your struggles.
Just me. No one wants to work. Quality stylists that are eager to be commissioned. Okay. Trying to go commission from booth rent. Marc, I know you have some insights on this.
That's a good one.
Okay. Those are very valid challenges to experience right now. So, Marc, tell us how it is.
So my reality is that a common platform and a playbook can keep all different types of team and structures running smoothly and consistently. So obviously I run a hybrid team, and I think that that's a
Mhm.
newer thing, and it's a very modern take on the feel of a salon. Normally either salons are booth renters or they are commissioned. For me, I'm actually running both, and I think this is leading into the new way that salons should be ran. I love having a hybrid salon and team due to the fact that everyone is honestly not ready to just jump into being a booth rental, especially the newer stylists that are in our industry. So I like to have a playbook of making sure that everybody's staying on the same page. And because I think the common problem is that people don't know how to manage both. You have booth
Mhm.
renters and then you have commission. But like I said, having a common playbook of what the structure should be like, and it applies to both. What you look like, what you sound like, what you talk like, that's doesn't isn't it's not different based on what you're doing, whether you're commission or whether you're booth rental. You still have to do certain things that apply to the salon overall. And I definitely make sure that I do that. And I like to make sure that the girls look a certain way and we all host a certain way and we are use Gloss Genius to make sure that we're giving that salon feel, and it makes it seem like we all are commissioned, but we're not commissioned. They are booth rental, and I like to make sure that my commission girls know that this is not a forever thing. This is something that is a stepping stone, and I don't want to keep my girls commissioned forever either. I want them to be business owners and I want them to be successful entrepreneurs. So that comes with a timestamp. And if you're telling someone, okay, you have 6 months to a year to make sure that you're building up your clientele, that leads them to greater success. And I think that's important that as salon owners, not just myself, but
Right.
we're investing as much time they're investing in us, and we can't tell someone to do something and not show them how to do it. So making sure that with my girls, I'm having bi-weekly to monthly talks about what their end goal is, and small things lead up to big things. So I'm not saying, hey, become a booth renter in a month, but what I'm saying to my commission stylist is, hey, we need to make sure that we're leading up. So making sure that you're posting on social media, making sure that you're staying present, and making sure that you're having those client connections. So when you do become booth rental, you're able to flourish on your own. And I actually, an amazing example is that I actually have a stylist. She recently joined and she came from an hourly salon. So a lot of those salons just basically use and abuse the stylist. You know, they're just making you just have to take clients as they come in. And you know, whatever floats everyone's boat. But there were certain things that I do feel like she was lacking in the sense of connection with the clients due to the fact that she was such in a rhythm for such a long time. I had a one-on-one with her. I let her know, hey, the goal is to be independent. The goal is to be an entrepreneur on your own. And we have to make sure that we're working on those client connections. Shortly after, she didn't even realize that she was doing it. And some people, and that's why it's important to acknowledge certain things, because some people don't even know that they're even doing something or they're lacking something. And we can't think that everyone's just going to know at the top of their head. So I had the conversation with her. She improved. She's improving. They actually left a review of her on our salon page on Google, that the connection that she made with them was amazing, that she made the client feel seen and she made them feel heard. And it was exactly what I was talking to her about. And she immediately improved in it. So it's not so much belittling, but we have to, like I said, you can't tell someone to do something that you're not showing them how to do it. And I think that we expect people to do certain things that once you have a license, you just have to know how to do something. But
Right.
it's important that we're guiding, especially commission stylists, in the direction that we want them to go in. And even with my booth renters, I love the fact that we have team meetings and there is a structure to the salon because we all do represent each other. And just because you are a booth renter, that doesn't mean that you just get to, do whatever you want. And for me, in my contracts, it is important that I'm setting those boundaries and those standards. And I also lead by example. I come in looking good. I watch how I speak. I'm making sure that I'm treating all my clients as they're like my celebrity clients. And it's leading by example is important. I can't tell someone to don't step in a puddle that I'm stepping in.
Period. I'm snapping my fingers. I mean, what comes to mind is we curate our teams the way that we do because we want to offer a unique skill set, right? We want to be able to serve every type of client, no matter how they operate. So as long as we're
Correct.
grounded in structure and how you operate, that's what will make your team successful. So with that said, a Gloss Genius feature that we love is all of our admin saving tools. So things like payroll, team calendar management, time tracking. We've seen teams save up to 40 hours a week with these tools. We know that every minute of your day matters. So with the right tools, your entire team can get that time back.
Absolutely, Alyssa. And sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
You're-
I mean, showing those hot tips, it's something that it really does function in our salon very well. Since I do run a hybrid salon, the people that call in and they walk in, it's amazing that I'm actually able to use the booking website to give those clients to the stylists that are commission based. And the booth renters can also book these girls' appointments if they're calling in and if they're walking in. We're all able to actually feed each other and have accessibility to the booking site for these commission stylists that obviously eventually will be booth rental as well.
Right. Yep. That visibility is so important.
Absolutely.
All right, everyone, we're about halfway there. This may be one of my favorites. Myth number 5, building a personal brand is only for influencers, not for busy salon owners. And for the chat here, we want you to think about your personal brand. What is one word you'd use to describe it today? And Marc, I want to hear your answer to this too. Okay.
One word. I would have to say luxurious.
Yes, that's why we're here. I love it.
I think my brand is luxurious, from my salon to my personal lifestyle to my own brand on social media. I think it's luxurious. I give luxury. I want that. I want that for people that also look like me and walk like me and talk like me. So I want to show visibility in that.
I love it. I love that word. I'm seeing attentive, custom, holistic, rejuvenating, intentional, premium.
I
Love it.
love those are good
These
ones.
are great. These are great.
Yes, I absolutely love those.
All right. What is our reality when it comes to building a personal brand?
That my reality is that anyone can build a personal brand, especially if you've already invested in your reputation. And to obviously further explain that, I think that we get so caught up in try to be a jack of all trades. We want to be a salon owner and we want to be amazing entrepreneurs and we want to be obviously amazing stylists. And those are all three different things. So for me, it all started in my craft. I made sure that I was focusing on my craft and everything else of my brand, whether it was my salon brand or my personal brand on social media as being an influencer, all actually just flows in. It just all naturally until flows into one another. And I focused on my skill set, and that is what basically led me into living the life that I live now because I focused on one thing instead of trying to jump at and making myself a jack of all trades. Making myself really good at my craft made myself get noticed online. It made me make more money. It made me able to be able to afford a salon on my own. So we need to stop thinking that we need to jump 10 steps ahead, but focus at the root. And we are service providers. And I think a lot of the time we forget that. Before I was an influencer, before I was a salon owner, I was a hair stylist on my own. And before social media came around, I was already booked for months. And that was based off my reputation. I have always treated from the very, very beginning treated my clients like gold because that's the kind of service that I expect when I'm getting serviced by someone. So if I don't want to be treated that way in the most minuscule things, why would I want to then put that on to a client and someone that's obviously spending their money on me as a service provider?
That's so true. Let the work speak for itself, and your personal brand will also speak for itself as well. Just reading the comments, love the idea of doing one thing really well and then building from there. Everyone's
Absolutely.
agreeing. Yep.
And when it comes to building your personal brand, you really, especially when it comes to social media, you want to make sure that you're being attentive to the trends.
Yep.
If something is working, don't reformulate a formula. The formula is already there. So, for example, when I seen that a lot of people were doing consultations on their videos and those videos were trending, I stopped showing everything in my videos because I saw that people have a very short attention span. I think the attention
Mhm.
span of Americans is like 7 seconds. So you really have to be able to obviously trap their attention extremely fast. So finding out what's working on social media and then applying that to your what you do, if social media is obviously the route that you want to go, we're all inspired by someone. No one created the wheel. So don't feel like you have to recreate it.
Yeah.
See the wheel for what it is and then apply that to yourself. It's always to be inspired. You never have to obviously replicate anyone, but everyone is inspired. I get inspired daily. A lot of people in the chat, what you're saying, obviously inspire me right now. So I'm consistently being inspired, and I have no shame in saying who inspires me and who motivates me, obviously, to be better. Because, like I said, we all get our motivation from somewhere. So it's making sure that you obviously, like I said, are watching those trends and you're really figuring out what's working, and then that obviously just applying that into your formula and realizing this is such a hot tip. Who are you marketing to? Who are you selling to? Who is your target audience? And that looks completely different, especially when you're trying to build a brand either for your salon or for your personal brand on social media. Because when you're talking about branding to yourself to someone, there's three different type of people that you could be selling to, and that's a consumer, that's an educator, or that is a brand. And those three things look differently. When you're talking about a consumer experience and you want to get more clients, you have to show what your experience is like. No one's going to sit in your chair if they don't know what your experience is like. So that entails in videos of consultations, showing how your client walks in, how you're treating them. I show those things by example and giving my client a glass of wine. It's a 3 second clip, but that shows a client, hey, he gives his clients wine. I love that. I love that experience. I want that. But when you're selling, say, to someone that's in your field, like educating or educators, or you want something that's relatable, those are videos that only someone that could relate to that specific industry looks like. You can't expect someone to obviously come your way when you're not telling them where they should be going. And that is, like I'm saying, making sure that you know, being intentional, and that's the key word, intention. Making sure that you are very intentional with what you're posting. And if you are doing something on a brand related and you want to be noticed by a brand, why would a brand notice you if you're showing 30 different types of product in that specific video? To get noticed by a brand, you want to show that you are using that specific brand, that specific bottle, and that video looks different. So like I said, knowing who you're promoting to and knowing who you're selling to, it is important. And once you start posting with intention, then people know what to look for on your account.
Intentionality is so important. We have a good question here for you, Marc. Anel said, I think my biggest disconnect is knowing how to focus energy with branding. It is such a broad term. How does a stylist, quote unquote, brand?
So when you are figuring out what your brand is, so I like to see everything visually. I'm a visual learner. So when you are trying to figure out what your brand is, you want to make sure that you're writing this thing down. So say example, my name is Marc, my salon name is Beyond Beauty. Okay, so the brand for my salon, I want the luxury feel. So that comes with the furniture, how I treat my clients when they walk through the door. Those things are going to push me to being luxury. You know what I mean? And then going from there, taking it step by step. And if you are obviously trying to build yourself as a brand, make sure that what you are saying is actually what's being shown on social media and on your account, so people can immediately relate to what you're trying to put out. If you're saying you're luxurious, then I want to see luxury on your account. I want to see that luxury feel, if that makes sense.
That's great, Marc. I hear you. It can be complicated to think about what does a brand really mean when you're a beauty professional. What people think immediately, it's my logo, it's my colors, it's what my salon looks like. But what I suggest is ask yourself, how do you want clients to feel when they leave your salon or when they're in your salon? Do you want them to feel relaxed? We ask that initial question, what, I forget the question itself, but what is the one word to describe your personal brand? Think about those words and how you want your clients to maybe talk to their friends about you and build your brand
Correct.
from there.
I mean, that's a really good point, that a lot of the clients do the speaking for you. So if you're treating them well and you're loving that experience, they're going to tell someone else and they're going to say, hey, you know, that experience with Alyssa was amazing. I love the way she treated me. She didn't double book. She gave me all her time. Someone hearing that is then going to say, wow, oh my God, that's a luxury experience. My stylist never does that. That's going to make that client then either, you know, come back to you and keep on making sure that they're recommending everyone to you. So making sure that whatever you're saying you're doing, that the client also feels that. You can't say, oh, it's a luxury experience, but and then being rude to the client and not giving them that luxury feel. You want to make sure that you don't have to say a lot, that your experience is so amazing in itself, and from the environment to even before booking, that they feel so special that they then do the work for you. They are your walk-in billboards. So treat them like gold and they'll bring you gold.
Gold. All right. Speaking of social media, we have this hot tip, and we need to take 1 second, really quick, to talk about this video. Can you tell us how you got up there? Because I want to know the behind the scenes. Did a few
Listen,
people hold you while you stood on the box?
no, no. So that my fiance is amazing, and he actually held my hand while I was actually able to just stand on there. I have amazing balance. I was a cheerleader for a couple years, so I really do have like amazing balance. I'll even
Okay.
post the behind the scenes just to show you guys that
We have
it
to
really wasn't that hard for me. I was actually able to just balance, but it was amazing. Another example of following a trend and
yeah.
making it relatable to my aesthetic and my brand.
Acting fast, as Marc said, is so important, especially in the world.
Yes.
I love this. This was incredible. And I need those shoes as well.
Oh my
Okay,
God. I'm gonna send them to you. I'll let you borrow them.
perfect. All right, myth number 6. Customer service and brand building ends when the client leaves the salon. Now, question for the chat. What is one way you currently try to engage with your clients after they leave the salon? We'll take a few seconds.
Let me make sure that I got my responses already.
Selfie deals. Connie, can you tell us more about what that means?
That's a good one.
I love that. Followed up, new cut and color. Mario chiming in with the brand, yes. Follow-up reminders and emails. 24-hour follow-up. Ask them to post on Insta and tag us. Thanks, Kayla. Okay, I'm so interested in this selfie. Oh, Kwani said, when the client posts and tags, they get a discount off the next visit. That's great.
I love that. What kind of discount are you giving? Is it like a 10% off? Is it a 15% off? That's definitely something that people can definitely apply to their service. That's a really good tip and good strategy.
Keeps them coming, like $5 off. That's great.
Okay, I love that. Cute, and it's a little cute little, razzle dazzle on their appointment.
Yes, exactly. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is your reality here, Marc?
My reality is that salons that don't get in front of the clients during downtime are falling behind. And there's a lot of ways that I make sure that I'm getting in front of the client, even on the downtime. And Gloss Genius is truly one of the ways that I use. I utilize it the most. And especially when it comes to the confirmations and the reminders and trying to make sure that the clients remember, and my clients love this feature. The customizable features that you have when sending these messages, I make them sound like myself. So a lot of the time, my clients don't even know that it's coming directly from a website. They actually think that I'm texting them personally. And I love that. I'm never going to correct anyone. Give me the credit. I want all the credit.
You.
So it's definitely me. I definitely put in the work. So making sure that I'm customizing all those features to make it sound like me. These features are accessible at your fingertips in seconds. So making sure that we're utilizing these things to make us better professionals, it's really so important. And that's how I'm getting in front of the clients on time, especially on my downtime, that they are getting these reminders, they're getting the confirmations. I'm also rebooking these clients at the end of the service to make sure that they're coming continuously. And Gloss Genius has that amazing feature that it reminds you to rebook your client. And I think that is important more than ever that we are rebooking our clients, especially in this economy, because we want to make sure that we're having consistent money flowing in.
Consistency is so important. And that's what I love about some of our AI powered marketing features. You can send out an email and text campaign in simply minutes in just a few taps. You can customize, as Marc said, to make sure it matches your tone of voice. And you can also filter out who exactly you want to reach. So you can filter out your VIP clients, those you haven't seen in a while, those who spend the most with you. One of our favorite features.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to myth number 7. Is my screen moving, guys? 1 second. Something happened here with my screen. Okay, there we go.
Perfect. Now we're on the same page now.
Literally. Okay, myth number 7. New clients are the most valuable to any salon business. Now, this one's for the chat. Who here obsesses over their rebooking rate? The magic number. You can drop an emoji. Seems like we need to get more obsessed with our rebooking rate. Okay, let's talk about this, Marc. What's our reality?
Okay. So the reality,
they're obsessed with their rebooking rate.
So the reality is that repeat clients actually spend 5 times more money than new clients. And it's important that we do prioritize these returning clients. And we're so infatuated with wanting a new client and trying to build our clientele. But there's gold literally sitting on our lap every single time these repeat clients come. And those repeat clients, clearly they trust you and they value what you're bringing to the table. So make sure that you're valuing them as well. And they, again, do the work for you. Someone that you already know, obviously they already know you, so they are more inclined to promote you to other people, be your walking billboard. Absolutely. Marc does my hair. He makes me feel so good. And because I am prioritizing them, obviously, as my clients, because my loyal clients that have been with me for over 5 years, I do prioritize them and I remember their birthdays, like I said, and I'm making sure that I don't forget how valuable they are to me. Just because someone is new, and just it's important for me to remember that everything that shines is not gold. And I say that because a new client is not always the golden ticket. these repeat clients are our golden ticket, and they are the real gold that actually shines and they actually pay our bills. So it's important for us to make sure that we're rebooking them. And like I said, I love to make sure that I'm rebooking these clients, even for a haircut. Hey, as soon as the appointment ends, do you want to rebook this appointment? Do you want me to get you into the books? I'm actually booked into, the next 3 months. So I want to make sure that I'm able to actually, and it's all in verbiage. Once you say, hey, I might be booked at this time. I just want to get you into the books. This is making the client feel that you're prioritizing them and that they're special to you, that you want them in your books as well. So verbiage is important, but making sure that, like I said, you're really prioritizing those loyal clients because they're loyal to you and not mistreating them because they're loyal to you, if that makes sense.
Marc, I love hearing these stories. Who is your longest client that you've had on your books? For how long?
My longest client that I have had is, I have a couple because I've had actually, yeah, I have a couple, but the one that I can think of like right now on the top of my head is a client. Her name is Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been my client since I was a booth renter at my first salon. It was a month into me moving in, and she was my client, and she has seen me be a booth renter twice and then being a salon owner twice now that I'm in my new establishment. And I treat her with the same amount of respect that I treated her the first day that I went into she sat in my chair and she gave me a chance. She didn't even know what my portfolio was like, and she gave me a shot. So I continuously make sure that I am looking out for her and I'm treating her well. And I don't just think that, oh, she's been with me for 5 years, she's not going anywhere. You're not entitled to anyone's time. And I don't ever think that. So I like to make sure that even with Sydney, I'm really prioritizing her time and making sure that she still feels special like the first day she ever sat in my chair.
Oh yeah. Loyalty to our glam squad is another level of loyalty.
Yes.
Our longest relationships, really.
Literally. And you're seeing people grow and changing. Sydney was actually a senior in high school when she ever first sat in my chair. This is like a grown woman that has now flourished into her own career. To be able to see that it firsthand, and she's also joined me on my journey. When I first started, I was simply just a booth renter that was a hairdresser, and I had just gotten my cosmetology license. Now I have grown into all these phases of my life, and a lot of my loyal clients still applaud me and they still want to stay with me because I've always had open communication with them and treated them like they were my celebrity clients.
Oh yeah. All right. One hot tip with client retention. So we've seen Gloss Genius users achieve 75% plus client retention, as you mentioned, with the pre-booking at checkout, with rebooking reminders, and also waitlist to keep your books full and prevent burnout. Okay, on to myth number 8. We are almost there. Myth number 8, to motivate commission stylists, you should only focus on their individual sales numbers. Now, question for the chat. In your experience, what's one non-monetary thing that has truly motivated any of your team members? We'd love to know. I'm seeing people share their loyal client stories. We love to see this. Longest client of 34 years.
I aspire to be
stories.
that stylist. You see, that right there is my inspiration. I aspire to one day be able to say, 30 years from now, I've had the same client from the day that I opened up my own shop where I became a booth rental. I mean, I feel like I'm leading up to that, but that is such an inspiration. Kudos to you.
You'll have that, Marc. You will. Okay, the non-monetary motivation, seeing constructive criticism. The chat is moving so fast I can't even scroll. I love this. That means we have some really motivating leaders in the group.
Absolutely.
Reinforcement, being positive to each other. These are great answers. Okay, what is your reality with this one, Marc?
So my reality is that culture and encouragement will keep your stylist performing. And as stated, obviously, in the beginning, having these meetings with my stylist on where I want their career to go it's important. People should know what they're doing and doing it with intention. And like I said, you can't expect something from someone when you're not telling them what you are expecting of them and where you want their career to go. So showing, especially commission stylists, where you want them to go and how much you believe in them. And not thinking that you just want them to stay commissioned forever, because a lot of salons are like that. And it's important that obviously whatever stylist, when the stylist is choosing a salon, you can know that the salon that you're working at is having those things in place to prompt you into the next stage of your life. I actually have a whiteboard in the back of my salon, and we write down monthly goals. Every single stylist, commission and booth rental, we write down our monthly goals so they can see it every single day. I want them to walk through the door and see that this is their monthly goal. And then at the end of the month, we actually talk about what they did to encourage, to make sure that that goal, they were encouraging it and they were watering it and it helping, obviously making it flourish and come true. So, and when they're not doing it, I ask them why it didn't happen and how could we work on making sure that obviously we're working on those goals. And for me, it's important that the goals are tangible. I'm not asking you to obviously reach for the sky. I'm asking, okay, if you want to gain more clientele, how are you doing that? And actually promoting them like, okay, well, if you need my help, make sure that you're asking me. If you need something, you have to obviously speak. Closed mouths don't get fed. So, but you also have to make sure that you're creating that atmosphere for them, that they feel welcome enough to say, hey, this is where I'm lacking. And I need you as a mentor. And for me, I am their mentor, that they're able to say, hey, Marc, I want to flourish on this. I want to work on this. How can we work on it together? And that's just the kind of culture that I want to have in my salon and that I do have in my salon. It is important as a salon owner that you are cultivating that culture, because it is your responsibility. And when the salon is going in a toxic way, it is your responsibility to make sure that it's not steering in that way. You are leading the ship. So at the end of the day, everything falls onto you and you create the space that you want to see. If there's a lot of drama, if there's a lot of things that aren't encouraging happening in your space, then it's important that you're looking at yourself in the mirror and taking ownership and responsibility and moving on from it and then working on it to make sure that you're giving that the commission stylist the space and the encouragement that they need. We were all beginning stylists at some point, and it's important that we are consistently encouraging them in a positive light.
I love that. Marc, we have some good questions in here. We haven't touched much on this, so I'd love to ask this one. What tips do you have for booth rental stylists who are building their clientele? Any clientele building tips?
Okay, so obviously social media is the most important crucial thing right now. And I'm not telling you, I think there's a difference between thinking when people say, oh, use social media, that I'm saying or others are saying become a social media influencer. That's not what I'm saying. That's a whole different career. But what I'm saying is that we aren't using magazines anymore. We aren't watching ads on TVs anymore. We're on our phones. The digital world is so important. So the fact that people are not using it because they want to stand their ground that I'm not a social media influencer, I'm not telling you to be one. What I'm telling you is that people are looking at hashtags. And for me, when I was trying to build my clientele, I was hashtagging everything down to the laces, the color that I wore that day on my sneakers. You want to make sure that you're doing, for me, it was like things to do in Buffalo, things to do, like you want to put those things in your hashtags, because when someone's looking up things to do in Buffalo, I showed up. I was making sure that I was promoting myself with those hashtags, best stylist in Buffalo. This is just obviously related to myself because this is what I was doing. But say if you live in Chicago, best stylist in Chicago, Chicago salon experience, hairstylist in Chicago, leading up those things. I promise you right now, if you go to TikTok and look up Buffalo hairstylist, best stylist in Buffalo, I dominate that section on TikTok. There's not a single video in the next, probably, like if you scroll down in 10 videos before you see someone else's, because I have dominated that for so many years at this point. And it's because I hashtag everything. People are looking at the hashtags. So if you are trying to grow your clientele, grow it, yeah, use social media. It's a big key factor. But I've also done things in the old school way. I've also done print it out and put little cards on people's windows because I wanted people to be like to know about me, especially when I was moving into a new space in my salon. I wanted the area to know about me. So I walked down the street and then I just put little cards and put my little flyer that my salon was now in the area. We can't forget those tricks because they still actively work.
I love that. Those location hashtags are everything. Look up your location and what you do, and in the hashtag, see which ones are the most popular that people are searching the most. Also,
Correct.
that you do flowers. We love to keep it old school. Flyers.
Yes.
We love to keep it old school too.
Absolutely. And you can look up those things of like you said, what is dominating in your like city of hashtags, And it could be like, oh, it's like a lot of people love wings and buffalo, so they always looking up wings. So I put like chicken wings in my hashtag. Yeah, I want someone to click on the chicken wing hashtag
I
and
love
see that I do hair.
that.
So
That
what
one's
you're
new for me, Mark. I love that one. That's a great one. Okay, we are on our final myth, and we'll have enough time for a Q&A after. So if you guys want to start thinking about your questions. Myth number 9, powerful software has to be complicated. Now for the chat, drop a heart in the chat or anything you want if you already use or are interested in trying Gloss Genius. We see typing. Yes, hearts, 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 hand hearts. Yay, brown hearts. We love seeing it. Amazing.
Yes,
The crew is here. Okay.
absolutely.
What's our reality, Mark?
My reality is that Gloss Genius helps you grow more by less busy work, and it really is that simple. So for me, Gloss Genius is truly like my assistant and my accountant. It's doing all the work for me, which and then leaves me space to focus on how I want my career to grow, how I want my salon to grow, how I want to. I get to have this free time because Gloss really is doing all the work for you. It's sending the emails, it's sending the confirmations, it's sending the cancellation links, it's sending the reminders, and I mean the clients truly love it. And I think that even the fact that you don't have to download anything, you're losing 50% of your clientele if your client has to download an app to be able to book you. I promise you, as a service provider myself and somebody that gets service, I am not downloading an app to book anyone. I might as well just say, okay, I'm not even going to look at it. Clients want things simple and easy, and I think Gloss is a prime example of how easy and how luxurious it can make it. As well as it's important to note that Gloss itself, Gloss Genius, as a software, it's grown with me throughout the years, and it's grown with this just an industry. They're continuously elevating. This is not something that I have to say. This is something that I truly feel. I mean, I've been a Gloss Genius partner for 6 years. The app itself and the software is growing with us. Now the reminders have gotten a lot more extensive. They added a wait list. You have the Teams feature. Those are things that didn't exist 6 years ago. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a company, if I have to sell anybody on anything, I don't feel like I have to say much. The software itself is truly doing in itself, and it's helping me be a better business owner, and it should be making everyone else be a better business owner by making your life a lot easier.
We love to hear it, Mark. I see Adrienne in the chat saying she just found us 2 months ago and wish she found us sooner. We're so glad you're here, Adrienne.
Yes, it's discovery can happen at any single point, so it's better sooner than later. And I truly always try to recommend how amazing Gloss is, and that's why we all use Gloss Genius in my salon, because it really is such an effective software.
Love it. So this is our last hot tip for you. As we shared earlier, we are the only salon and spa software with 100 and plus features that really drive your growth, that are aesthetically pleasing for your staff and clients. We're a visual industry, and is actually easy to use from day one. All right, we have just enough time for Q&A. So I am going to open the floor up for audience questions. If you have any questions for Mark, please write them into the chat. Okay, we already have one from Carly. How do you gain confidence behind the camera for social media?
So actually, when I first started, I never showed my face ever. If anyone has followed me for a long time, I was the man that just had like these mystery hands. I never wanted to show my face. Then one day, obviously, I showed my face and I started to show what I wanted to look like. But it was because I wanted my career to go in a different path. Now, it's always important. I always tell people there's people that make millions of dollars by cutting up soap, the ASMRs, and they never show their face. So you don't have to just because everyone else is doing it. But now, if you know that that's where you want your life and your career to go, at some point you have to get over the fear. And I don't think that there's any specific words that I can give you, but do it scared, do it tired, do it crying. But as long as you're doing it, that's a step in the right direction.
I love it. Do it scared. One of my favorite quotes. Okay, let's see.
Truly.
Ivana is asking, do you use the inventory feature for back bar?
So for me, I don't sell too much inventory when it comes to like even just like my own inventory. I don't use the feature excessively a lot. I should be doing more of like of my own due diligence to make sure that I do use it because it would be a lot easier. This would be my first year doing a hybrid salon before I was extremely independent. So definitely now that I'm running my hybrid salon and I'm having both commission and booth rental, is definitely going to be more important that I do utilize that feature.
That's a great one. Marc, I'm just sifting through some of these questions. I love that we have a bunch. Brianna says, hold on, the chat is moving so fast. Okay, I'm currently shifting my business and services. Are there any tips in changing and targeting a certain type of audience? Thank you.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. I didn't catch the beginning.
It's okay. Brianna shares that they're currently shifting their business and services. Are there any tips in changing and targeting a certain type of audience? Are we looking for a niche clientele maybe? That might be it.
Oh, I mean, whatever, regardless if it's like a service, a certain kind of service or a certain kind of clientele, you want them to click on your account and see exactly who you want. You want to know exactly the kind of you have to let them know this is the kind of woman that I want, or this is the kind of service that I want, or this is how I basically want to be, that how I want to come off as. Louis Vuitton, they're very luxurious. They have very limited things. So a lot of their ads is luxury. They have people that are celebrities that are luxury. That's how they promote themselves. So it's important that we carry ourselves that way as well. And like I said, know who you're pitching to, know who you're selling to. And on your account, if I go on your account and you are a blonde specialist, why am I seeing a redhead? Why am I seeing purple hair? You should be, your niche, what you should be focusing on is promoting that blonde lived in balayage. If you are doing vivids, don't try to just take something that's not a vivid because you want the money, because then that disrupts people's vision of what they're getting when they're seeing your account. You want someone to go on your account and automatically know what your services are and what you're pitching. A lot of people, when they're on my account, they know for a fact that I'm a versatile stylist. Why? Because every single video shows every different color of woman. I'm a service provider that can service every kind of woman, and that is something that I've always stapled on since the very beginning. I am a versatile stylist. That's my niche. That's what's gotten me to where I am right now. So finding what your niche is and really just putting that out there is really, it does the work for you.
I love it. What can't he do? Okay, we have a question from Natalia. Wondering how do we keep the best connection slash feeling with our clients when we first started doing hair that used to pay X amount of money 15 years ago, and now our prices have changed so much through the years. Do we keep them at current prices, give them discounts because they are, or give them discounts because they are one of our first clients and have been with us throughout our whole career?
That's a good question. And I think that a lot of it is personal. I will say that I don't lead my business off sympathy or empathy. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that everybody feels differently, but I don't lead off sympathy and empathy due to the fact that major corporations do not. They have their rules. Our prices and our obviously gas right now, a carton of eggs is $12. And guess what people are doing? They're not screaming why, they're still buying them because they need them. So making sure that you are still giving that luxury feel or whatever kind of service obviously that you're providing, that you're still, that you have such a special niche that they don't want to go anywhere. And unfortunately, I obviously have had clients that don't want to pay the kind of price that I'm paying right now. When I first started, kid you not, I was doing a balayage for like $120. Babe, that was 6 years ago. That the times have changed and people know that. So I think that don't feel sympathetic on in the sense of like, oh well, they've been with me for a while. You can do other things to make up for that. For that loyal client, give them a shampoo, like a small little travel size shampoo. You know, you treat them well. When they need you, you can still get them in their books without them having to book online. That is still treating them well. But the market has changed. A tub of bleach almost is $45 right now. So they can't expect, and you can't let them expect that they're still going to get the same highlight for $150. It's just not realistic. And don't put that burden on yourself. Yes, it is very sad. And I'm not going to say that I haven't had clients that have broken up with me. It's sad, but that's making space for 10 new people that do want to value what I bring to the table.
Yeah, and that's the clientele we want to build, right? The clients that have been with us for so long, they want to see you grow. That's the clientele that I know that I want, who really supports my growth.
I 100% agree. And they do exist. They 100%, I have them. All my clients now that my books are closed now until 2026 of spring, they all literally, when I'm posting my accomplishments, they are so excited. Oh my God, Mark, I think I'm so happy for you. They bring me gifts. They care so much about me because throughout the years, I've always shown that I care about them as well.
Love it. Okay, question from Sam. Self-care tips. How are you not overworking yourself?
So I do things a tad bit differently. And like I said, our industry is very subjective. So you really want to make sure that you are doing what works for you. For me, I don't take small trips throughout the year. I only take big ones. So I try to prioritize taking 4 out of the country trips a year. And those trips are 2 to 3 weeks that I'm not in my salon. I'm not working. I actually close my booking site that no one can actually book me or even cancel an appointment because I'm on vacation. So nothing is happening anyways. And once I get back, I'll acknowledge everything once I'm back. But I want to prioritize myself. So I'll work extremely hard and then I get to take 3 weeks off and then I'll work hard again and, keep on going at it. It's easy making 6 figures. It's harder staying there. So I don't know why people think that it's easy once you are making that kind of money. It's actually harder because now you have to stay at that level. But prioritizing myself is just by I love to travel and I love to write. So I try to write as much. And I also get massages every 2 weeks because we are straining our body. So those are kind of the things that my self-care looks like. Now, some people are different. They want to take smaller vacations throughout, every month they'll take a weekend trip. And I love that for them. But for me specifically, that's not enough. 3 days is not enough. It's like a teaser. And then I'm gonna be mad if I have to come back in 3 days when I thought I was gonna be relaxing for a lot longer. So I just try to take longer trips, but then make more money when I am working.
I love that. Where are you going next?
So it's a toss up. We're thinking Bora Bora.
Okay.
We're thinking I like to go to these far places. The flights are like 17 hours, but the one in a life kind of experiences. Or we are thinking somewhere like in the Middle East. So we're not sure yet. Usually I'm more of like a last minute kind of guy, but we'll see.
I love it. I can't wait to see the vacay pics. Okay,
Absolutely.
we have questions around advertising. How does Gloss help stylists advertise or get new clients? What's a good way to advertise yourself?
Advertising yourself, I mean, again, I think it sounds like we're beating a dead horse, but I mean, why aren't you all on social media? I don't know what we're doing. Social media is it's such a vast space to be promoting yourself, and not just on Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everything. And literally everything you can promote yourself and advertise yourself. So there's really no reason why no one is using and why a lot of people aren't using all these things that are actually accessible to us. And like I said, don't go into it thinking that you're going to be a social media influencer if that's not what you want, but you have to put effort towards it, because if you're not, then you're never going to see that clientele and be fully booked out like we obviously all want for one another.
Yep. And there's several features that go hand in hand with social media. So whether that's adding the book now button to your Instagram, sharing
Yes.
your clients' reviews, make sure you're reminding clients to leave a review. It's in their receipt, and you can share the actual template to social. Show off your booking site, show them how easy it is to book with you, link it in your story. There's definitely plenty of ways to get them booking with you from social.
Absolutely. And when it comes to reviews, I think if I'm not mistaken. I have one of the top rated accounts on Gloss Genius on top of all the people that use Gloss Genius. I have over 355-star reviews.
I love it. Slay.
And that's something that is my major flex.
That is flex.
Please click that review button and please see all my amazing reviews. I beg of you.
I love it. All right, everyone, that is all the time that we have for questions today. If you want to learn more about how Gloss Genius can help you implement anything that Marc has shared, you can scan the code here or click a link. We'll have a link in the chat for you guys as well to schedule your free demo. But I just want to end with saying a huge thank you to you, Marc, for sharing all of your incredibly valuable insights as a successful salon owner, industry trailblazer. We're so grateful to have done this with you. Are there any final words that you want to share?
I mean, I want to thank everyone, obviously, for bringing themselves here and giving me their time and spending this last hour. I like to always lead with I am always a student, sometimes a teacher, but never an expert. And I think that everybody should be leading with that. And remember, you know, slow and steady obviously wins the race. And you do actually have a friend in me. If anybody has any further questions beyond this point, please reach out. Please reach to me on my personal Instagram. I try to answer as much questions as possible. The advice that I give is because I want everybody to win. There's no gatekeeping here. Gatekeeping does nothing but hold you back. So make sure that you're putting everyone forward, and to be blessed, you have to bless. And if you are a salon owner, make sure that you're investing in the stylist because they're also investing in you.
Oh, I love that. Someone said chills. I also have them too. Thank you all so much for joining us. Please keep up with Marc at The Real Marc Mendez. We're going to send out a follow-up email with helpful takeaways, a recording, and then any links that will help you learn more about Gloss Genius. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.